So we came back to the Andersonville prison, and I wanted to show you guys a close-up of what this 15-foot wall actually looks like. Now I'm 6 feet tall. It doesn't feel like there's any way of really getting out of here. This is very well built and extremely hard to get out of. And also, if you look at these, that's where the people would watch over the prisoners. And we're on the outside. Let's go look at the inside. It's crazy. Okay, so if you can see down here, there's 2 white stakes. Now the first outside white stake is where this wall continued along the perimeter. And then the inside white stake was the deadline. Now we're gonna go to what it actually looked like inside. So let's take a look from the prisoner's perspective inside of the walls. As you can see, there's 15-foot tall logs and the guards there and there. There's really no way of getting out. And the deadline, if you even go near this, you're dead. And your focus from a prisoner's perspective is getting across that wall, which is nearly impossible. So I just couldn't imagine how it felt to be a prisoner. Now, let's look at how they survived here. So this is how the prisoners lived. Whatever they could find, whatever they brought, sticks, cloth, blankets, they had to build something to keep away from the sun, first of all, and the dying people all over the place. So they made do with what they had, and this is how they lived. I just couldn't imagine, being stuck inside of a wall where you can't leave. You have nothing but what you brought in here, what you can find, and all the people dying around you. It must have just felt so surreal. Just look at all this. It's crazy. So I really want to feel what these prisoners were feeling in the shebangs that they made. This is crazy. It's got some pretty good protection. It's pretty well made. But what if it rains? You're still stuck in the mud. You have no bed. You have nowhere to go. The sun, if the sun's over here, you're getting cooked. It's just not a good way of living, and I can feel that. So these shebangs range from big to small. Now this one is a pretty decent size little shebang here. And that almost looks like a bed in there, or at least a shelter from the ground. But then there's also some smaller ones, like this one, held up by one stick and another stick. And then there's this one. This is a lean-to. Couldn't imagine having a shelter this small and trying to go to sleep. You have to crawl your way in here and go to sleep. This is such a surreal feeling. This is what you have. This is, all the materials you have. And this is where you live. So this is just a little snippet of what this could have looked like. But imagine possibly hundreds of people living all around you with nothing. These people actually had something. They brought in what they had and made their shelter. But imagine people just laying in the grass. But there's no grass. It's all rained on, it's all sloshed, they're stepping in the mud, they're stepping over people. This is a miserable existence. And this is only the half of it. They have all of this to go. Right now we're in between the stockade wall and the deadline. Now this is probably the cleanest place within the camp because no one ventured here. So in front of me is one of the most used forms of punishment within the Andersonville camp. Now how this worked is they'd put you on the ground, put your feet through these holes and leave you here within the scorching sun, the rain, whatever weather conditioning was happening at that point. They'd curse at you, spit at you, threaten you, and leave you with no food and no water. And you were probably praying for rain. Bye.